Thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers destroy the Nationals. They win by a final score of 13-6. New uniforms, and it looked like a new offense. This is a Dodgers team that scored 7 runs for the entire series against the Guardians in the 3-game series loss to Cleveland, and they put up an 11 spot through the first 4 1/3 innings against Miles Mikolas, who, of course, we know him. He likes to talk a big game. He's the pitcher that said that the Dodgers were playing checkbook baseball. Well, hey, somebody needs to check on Miles Mikolas because he got absolutely rocked today by the Dodgers. They saw the ball well. They were taking advantage of his secondary pitches, crushing it. Andy Pages had another really great afternoon. Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Kyle Tucker got his first home run. Shohei Ohtani got his first home run. And the Dodgers, they get the win. They improve all of a sudden to 5-2. And no one's upset about the offense anymore. And what I say the last couple of days, I said, one, the Dodgers needed to go on a road trip. They needed to get out of LA because of all, as Dave Roberts called it after the game, the hoopla. And I was saying the same thing as with the opening day and the ring ceremony and the pageantry and all of the excitement surrounding it. It's good to refocus when you go on a road trip. And I also, the second thing I said was what? That this offense is waiting for Shohei Ohtani to explode. This offense is waiting for Shohei Ohtani to get his first home run of the season, and they certainly got it in a big way. Shohei Ohtani goes deep today on his 28th at-bat of the season after Emmet Sheehan, who had already given up 3 runs in the game. The Dodgers found themselves trailing 3-0 with 1 out in the top of the 3rd inning, and Shohei Ohtani, that beautiful, explosive, shotgun-like sound when Shohei hits the ball out of the ballpark, it's back. Shohei goes big fly to tie things up in the top of the 3rd. 3-run shot for the Big Show.
Corks it to deep right field. Wood goes back. Goodbye. Ohtani finds it and ties it. His first extra base.
It was a great sight to see. You know, he was feeling it. He stayed and kind of looked at it, made sure that that thing was going to leave the yard. And the piece of hitting for it, too, when you just go back and watch the home run. It's a 1-0 count, runners on first and second, and he gets that load-up stance where he was keeping the shoulder in, and the shoulder wasn't flying out. The front leg in, the power driven by the legs, and he stayed back just enough on that changeup to be able to hit it out. He wasn't out in front, and I think the Dodgers collectively did a really nice job of that. Andy Pages hit a home run on a slider later in the game. You saw what this Dodgers team was able to do from top to bottom in this one. They just absolutely beat them with slug. And as Freddie Freeman said the other night, this team's inevitable. This offense is inevitable. There's too much talent, too many all-stars. There's just nowhere for the opposing pitcher to hide. And today they just flat out imposed their will on a Nationals team that was celebrating opening day. It was opening day in Washington, and they got crushed by the Dodgers. But yeah, you look at these home runs in this one. Mookie's later in the inning, he hit a 2-run shot after a Kyle Tucker single, and Mookie, that was a sinker he took advantage of inside part of the plate. He crushes a 2-run shot. That made it a 5-3 game. And then, bottom 3rd, the Nats get a run back. Abram, he reached on an infield single that scored a run. Lyles scored on it after he had a reach based on a fielder's choice after Garcia Jr. singled to start the inning. That made a 5-4 game. The Nats get a run back. But then top of the 4th inning, after Teoscar Hernandez reached on an infield single. Andy Pages, he crushed a 2-run shot. And this was a fantastic piece of hitting. They're starting him on the outside part of the plate. He sees that slider kind of running in on him. He stays back on it. He crushes it out. That goes for a 2-run shot. The Dodgers go up 7-4. And then top 5 after a Mookie Betts leadoff single against Mikolas, Freddie Freeman, he gets in on the home run action. The bomb to right this time. Second shot of the year. This one a 4-seam fastball right on the inside corner. That made to get a 9-4 game. And then a few batters later, Teoscar, he doubled to center to make it a 10-4 game. That scored Max Muncy. And then the other thing we were waiting for early on this season and today was Kyle Tucker getting his first home run. Kyle Tucker's strikeout rate was uncharacteristically high in this early part of the season, already 9 strikeouts through just 6 games. The strikeout rate well above 30%. This is a guy who, for a great hitter like himself, does not strike out at a high clip. That's something that he does at an elite level. And later in the game, after he had already had an RBI single in the 5th inning to make it 11-4 game. Well, he joins the home run parade in the top of the 7th inning at the plate, and you know he was looking to hit one over because he sees that first pitch sweeper from Waldachuk, and Kyle Tucker goes LTG. Let's tuck and go. He hits his first bomb as a Dodger to make it a 12-4 game.
Look back. Kyle Tucker sends a fly ball to right center field. Wood is going back on this. That'll carry to the seats. Kyle Tucker, his first Dodger home run.
There you go. You love to see it, doing the celebrations, the side-by-side. It could use some work, but still, that was a great moment for Kyle Tucker. You're never going to forget your first home run in Dodger Blue. His will have been on the road on the against the Nationals in a game that Shohei Ohtani also homered. Bottom of the 8th inning, it wasn't a great outing for Enriquez. Edgardo enters the game in the 8th. Espinal was in the game for Freddie Freeman at first base. The Dodgers up big. It's a 12-4 game, so how much is the adrenaline going compared to a high-leverage situation? Probably not as much, but he did give up a leadoff single to Nunez, gave it a single to Vivas, so back-to-back singles he allowed. Then Ruiz, old friend, catcher Caber Ruiz, former Dodger, he reached on a bunt double to right. Yes, I said that. It was a bunt double on this very bizarre play. That scored Nunez to make it a 12-5 game. And then Young, the next batter, he grounded to third to score Vivas to make it 12-6. The Dodgers would get one back with Ohtani at the plate with the bases loaded in the top of the 9th. He hit a sac fly with the bases loaded to score a run and make it 13-6. And then Ben Casparis goes 1-2-3 in the 9th to get the Dodgers the win. And LA improves to 5-2. They win 13-6. All of a sudden, the offense is back and rolling, and we are rolling here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Let's get to some comments. Nufo, I have a fever. The only prescription is more DMAC voice. Nufo, I hope that fever is going down. Let me know how long I have to talk for you. Because, hey, I'm here for Dodgers Nation always and forever. Javi Mendez, so many bombs in D.C., Okay, Javi Mendez, little same. We've got we score when Yoshi doesn't pitch, just like last year. Got it. I know, little same. For some reason, no run support for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yoshi was in the dugout celebrating those home runs, but in the back of his mind, he's got to be thinking, man, must be nice. He must be nice. Can I get some of those runs? Can you save maybe 3 or 4 of those runs for my next start? Every time I go out there, it's a tie game or I'm a 1-run deficit, 2-run deficit, 2-run lead, 1-run lead. But, hey, that is the mark of being the ace for the Los Angeles Dodgers, right, is you just don't get the run support. We've got, hey, D-Mac. Okay, this is a good one. Justin Lamas, how's it going, my man? D-Mac, we beat Checkbook Baseball. Yes, we sure did. Miles Mikolas, the guy who said the Dodgers are playing Checkbook Baseball. How about, I bet you the Nationals wish they didn't have to give you a check for that outing. I wish the Nationals wished that for Miles Mikolas with, him going 4 1/3 inning, giving up 11 hits and 11 runs to the Dodgers, 4 strikeouts to 1 walk. Miles Mikolas. Yeah, some notes from the game. The Dodgers scored 13 runs in 9 innings. The Dodgers were 2 more than they scored in the final 40 innings of the homestand. So think about that. The Dodgers today scored 2 more runs in the 9 innings today, the 13, than they had scored in the last 40 innings of that homestand with the Diamondbacks and the Guardians. So the offense, we knew they were going to wake up, and they woke up in the biggest way possible. Other one, of course, Kyle Tucker. First home run of the season. It was off Ken Waldichuk in the 7th inning. That gave the Dodgers a season-high 5 home runs. That matches the high in 2025. The Dodgers hit 5 home runs in a game twice. They did it on May 15th against the A's and May 31st against the New York Yankees. So, hey, that's the mark this year. Can the Dodgers top 5 home runs in a game? Let me know. Will the Dodgers hit more than 5 home runs in a game? I think they've done that this early. I anticipate that they will. But here was Kyle Tucker after the game talking about his first home run in Dodger Blue.
Kyle Tucker hit his first Dodger home run. He's standing by with Kirsten Watson.
Kyle, coming into this series, there was all this talk about the offense, how things were struggling, but everyone knew you guys were going to break out tonight. 13 runs, 16 hits. How would you just describe this offensive performance?
I mean, it's great. Yeah, we didn't have like the greatest start to the season with the first 2 series, but we were still able to get 4 of the 6 wins, and our pitching staff's done a phenomenal job with that. So it was good to see everyone kind of come together and string really good quality at bats together and hits.
And for you personally, you had yourself a 3-hit day, including your first home run in Dodger Blue. What adjustments did you personally make just to get going?
I don't know. I was just kind of swinging my way out of it, just trying to feel more comfortable in there and try and not foul pitches that are over the middle of the plate, and try and hit them. So worked out well.
Yeah, there's some familiarity there with Michaelis. How were you attacking him, or what were you seeing from him?
I mean, I was just trying to get something over the plate and try and get a hit. I was just trying to have a good about
Keeping it simple.
I'll just take the hits at this point.
When you look at the top 4 of this order, I mean, for all of you guys to have a home run in this game here tonight, is this what you just imagined when you were thinking of signing with this team?
Yeah, I mean, this offense 1 through 9, and the guys even coming off the bench, they're ready whenever their name gets called. So we just got to continue grinding out bats like we did today, and just do it again tomorrow. All
right, so now these blue jerseys, these are new for the organization. I happen to notice you had, of course, a home run during spring training in a blue jersey. Now this one, so you like it? Are we liking the blue?
If it keeps getting knocks with it, I'm in. Yeah.
That's all that matters. Yeah. Kyle, congratulations on this win, and congratulations on your first home run in Dodger Blue.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
There you go, Kyle Tucker. Talking about those new uniforms. You see them right here down below. These are the new Dodgers uniforms that they will be wearing on the road. Let's talk about these for a quick second. So the first thing you notice is they're blue and not gray. So for the first time in Dodgers franchise history, they're going to have a permanent blue jersey in their road rotation. So we've seen the Dodgers wear blue jerseys in the past. In 1944, they wore these silky blue Brooklyn jerseys, and they're reflective, so you can see them better at night at Ebbets Field. Then in 1945, they had a darker version of that. And then all the way in 1998, for Think Blue Week, the Dodgers wore some blue jerseys. They had the 40th anniversary of moving to Los Angeles patch. And those ones essentially were the spring training jerseys, the ones that you see now. And the following year, they had one that had more piping, and they had the red numbers, and there was the really more gaudy version of those. And then the Dodgers didn't wear blue in a game until we saw the City Connect jerseys in 2021, the ones that said Los Dodgers. So it's not like these are the first time they've ever worn blue jerseys in a game, but this is the first time they have a permanent blue jersey for a long time, since we saw the Brooklyn Dodgers do it in the 40s. So what stands out about these, the first thing you notice, it has the Los Angeles across the chest. just like the ones that we see in the road gray jerseys. The Dodgers have had Los Angeles across the chest from 1959 to 1969, and then they brought it back from 1999 up until now. Now, the Dodgers did wear the gray ones with Los Angeles every now and then. They didn't wear them as much as they did the one that says Dodgers on the front, but they did wear them. They've been a part of their rotation since 1999. And then you'll also notice that on the sleeves, they have some great piping that matches the pants. Then the other thing that really stands out is you got the red numbers on the front like we see with all the Dodgers jerseys, but here they're outlined in gray, and it's for legibility so you could read it and it just stands out and pops more. And then on the sleeve, instead of the interlocking LA that we typically see, here it says Dodgers, like the Dodgers script. So look, I think these, for what they were going for, are really cool. I would definitely easily give it a 10 out of 10 for a blue jersey. And the reason why I really like these compared to some of the other things that I've seen is that they could have just brought out the same spring training jerseys that they always wear and just wear those in games. They're game-worn, authentic ones. But then that you wouldn't be able to differentiate that for spring training. So these are different than the ones that they wear for spring training. So I like the fact that the Los Angeles on the front, the gray outline numbers, the Dodgers on the sleeve, the piping on the sleeve, it differentiates it from the Dodger blue jersey that they wear during spring training. And yeah, look, the sales too have already said that fans like these. They're selling out everywhere. You can get the not authentic version for $200 plus tax, and then the authentic version is $420 plus tax. I have been told you can find those at some Dodgers clubhouses around Southern California. But yeah, look, the most important thing to me is they're 1-0 in these things, and the offense came alive wearing these jerseys. So, hey, I like them. I mean, I like the fact, too, that the gray balances out, too. I remember those first City Connects where they looked like they were Smurfs. They looked like they were the Blue Man Wrecking Crew, the Blue Man Group, right? I mean, that was not like you could have too much blue, but it kind of looked like a weird NFL weird little color rush jersey that just didn't really work. I mean, I don't know. I just wasn't too into it. But let me know, scale of 1 to 10, what are your thoughts on the jerseys? I like how Justin Turner, he tweeted out that he's been asking for these for years. So I think he's asking for a way to come back to the Dodgers, it feels like. But let's get to some of your comments. Let's talk some jerseys. Then we're going to hear from Dave Roberts. Here we had to say about Emmet Sheehan's outing. We got, that was for you, D-Mac. Go Bruins. That hurt my soul. Yeah, you got UCLA in the women's Final Four tonight. How about Arizona in the men's Final Four? Who's been to games already? That is what Anthony Estrada wants to know. Ron Fig Jr., what's up? Pages driving in Teo just feels right. Yeah, I mean, just an incredible start for Andy Pages. I mean, we knew that the guys that had been struggling at the top of the order, they were going to come through. I don't think there's anyone that thought that unless the Space Jam aliens came down and took the powers of Shohei Ohtani and Kyle Tucker, that they weren't eventually going to do damage. That was always going to happen. But the fact that Andy Pages is having this much success early, he's going to take someone's all-star spot. And he's making a case to be an all-star early on. And yes, we're just through 7 games, but I think that it's not just this is new, right? I mean, he almost made the all-star team last year, and he looks like the swing is in a better spot to avoid those cold spells. I think for him, the big thing is pitch recognition. On the home run today, it was a slider. It was clear that he identified that slider right out of the pitcher's hands, and that allowed him to stay back, keep that swing short, and get that ball over the wall. And hey, it is for your Pages. He is front Pages news. I think Andy Pages is primed to not just be a above average offensive player, which he was last season, but a top 3 defensive player. And he is the next great Dodgers position player since Will Smith. So all the credit in the world to Andy Pages. But let's step into the box and look at this box score. and see who else did well. The Dodgers go 16 for 41, scored 13 runs, had 13 RBI, 8 strikeouts to 5 walks. So this is a Dodgers team that we saw in double-digit strikeouts against the Guardians in games. And to reduce that strikeout number to below 10 definitely is a number that you wanted to see. But it was the slug and the slug at the top of the lineup that was the difference today. Shohei Ohtani goes 2 for 5, drives in 4 runs, hits his first home run of the season. And you know he's just going to go on a massive tear. Behind him, Kyle Tucker, 3 for 6, scores 2 runs, knocks into his first home run of the season. Mookie Betts in the 3-hole, doing what guys should do when you bat in the 3-hole. So that's going to be a conversation that we're going to have this season if Mookie struggles is, does he deserve to be batting third? Well, today he proved his worth, going 2 for 6, 2 RBIs, 1 home run. His second of the season, Mookie Betts, Marcus Lynn Betts, Mookie living his Betts life. Then Freddie Freeman goes 1 for 4 with 2 RBI, hits a home run. So just look at that. That's the Mount Crushmore going just absolutely bonkers today. 8 hits and all of them homer. I mean, it was just... you couldn't have asked for more from the top of the lineup. And then Will Smith goes 1 for 4 with the walk. Max Muncy goes 1 for 5. Teoscar Hernandez had a really, really good afternoon. He goes 3 for 4, had a double early on against Mikolas. And then Andy Pages goes 3 for 4, hits a home run, but also importantly draws a walk. I mean, a 500 on base early on for Andy Pages. He's slugging 760, hitting 480. He's been by far the Dodgers' best and most consistent hitter to start the season. And I know that the Haesung Kim crowd, which I think he's got to earn it, and I think he could, but you're going to be looking at Alex Freeland's stats. This is why Alex Freeland is at the bottom of the lineup. This is why he's on the roster to start the year. Yes, he goes 0 for 3, did have 2 strikeouts, but also drew 2 walks, was able to get on base. You see a .357 on base percentage from Alex Freeland. That's what they're hoping to get. So no hits for Freeland, but still was able to help the offense by getting on base. But how about that? The Dodgers offense just absolutely erupting. And then on the pitching side, we'll talk about the pitching side, where this Dodgers pitching staff has really been great to start the year. Emmet Sheehan got off to an early deficit. The line wasn't spectacular as a whole. Goes 5 2/3 innings, gives up 4 runs on 7 hits, had more walks than strikeouts, 3 walks to 2 strikeouts, gave up the home run early, but he was able to throw 98 pitches, did give them some length, but they didn't have to compromise the bullpen for later during this road trip. And you still got some innings out of that pen, but still, the fact that he battled back after giving up that home run to Abrams there in the first inning, which was on that 4-seam fastball up in the zone that was at 93, well, hey, he was able to battle back, make some adjustments, did give up a run later in the 3rd inning when Abrams reached on an infield single. But hey, 4 innings. I think the 4 runs in the 5 2/3 innings. I mean, if I told you he was going to go 5 2/3 innings after that first inning where he gave the home run, you probably would not have believed me. So I still think that the biggest takeaway was the fact that they were able to stretch him out to 98 pitches. And he was stuck with him in that situation. But clearly they're having some mechanical issues. Mark Pryor and Conor McGinnis and Dave Roberts have been talking about it. Just the fact that his mechanics, he's kind of spinning kind of as he gets towards the plate in his delivery, and that's leading to some diminished velocity. So they're going to have to get to the bottom of those mechanics to get the best version of Emmet Sheehan. But still, I think all in all, considering you got the run support that you did, it was definitely a positive outing in the sense that you get the stretched out 98 pitches. But here was Dave Roberts after the game talking about Emmet Sheehan and this Dodgers offense and this big monster 13-6 win to start the series.
Well, Dave, I mean, I know there's been a lot of talk coming into this one, just with the offense, top of the order specifically, finding ways for guys to get going. today. They obviously did just that with 16 hits, 13 runs. What did you, though, just see with how the guys, whether their approach, the at-bats, and what they were doing with the ball today?
I thought they were all good. Really, it was good to see those guys break out. The top 4 guys in our lineup all homered. Rome isn't burning. But a lot of it, Andy is swinging the heck out of it. He's just taking consistent at bats, getting on base, turning the lineup over, and it's just good to see those other guys catch up and have production today, and it was good. And also, we got some guys that haven't pitched much, got them some innings and then some work, and so save some other guys for the next 2 ball games.
With Emmet today, it seemed like it was a little bit of a grind for him, but for him just to touch the 6th inning, what were you seeing there?
I thought it was a little bit of a grind, but I do think that, in total, the outing was much better. His direction was much better. I thought he sequenced a lot better than he did in his previous outing, and Will did a really nice job with him. So, made that pitch in the first inning to Abrams, a fastball up when he had count leverage and got to a high heater. But aside from that, I thought he did a really nice job.
What was different about those at-bats? Ohtani, Tucker, that's Freeman at the top of the lineup.
I think a little bit of it is we've had a lot of history with Michaelis, so we've seen him, know some of the tendencies, and outside of that, they were just not missing today, and we got some traffic, took some walks, and threw out a lot of hits. I think so, and there was a lot of hoopla going on in that first homestand. So hopefully getting on the road, guys getting their rest, we seem to swing the bats well here. And so hopefully, this will spur something else.
So there was Dave Roberts. Yeah, good job, Dave. Go off, King. Hitting him with the, hey, Rome isn't burning. Yes, Rome is not burning. The Dodgers offense, they did what they needed to do today, and they gave the pitchers the run support they needed, and something we haven't seen. But all right,